Welcome to Our Savior Lutheran, Platte City, Smithville, surrounding areas, midweek online update and Life with God devotion. Lord's richest blessings to you as we continue in the Lenten season. And we focus upon our sins and unworthiness in such a way as that it reminds us of what Jesus had to do for us. And then we don't wallow in it or waller in it. We focus upon that umbrella of grace because of what Jesus did on the cross, when he was abandoned by God, so we never will be. And then the Easter morning when the stone was rolled away. So lots of things going on. I'm not going to be able to give you all of them, but I'm going to give you quite a bit this morning. Or this afternoon if you're watching it later. I want to focus on the Right Now media because just a few more weeks in Lent, and I encourage you to follow that series, He Chose Nails. He chose to go to that cross for you and I. And then if you haven't ever read the Passion narrative from Scripture, the Passion of Christ and everything he went through, it's put in our announcements. It is a set reading for each week. So I encourage you to read that during the week. If you don't get the announcements, they come out via email. We also have a quick text or church in text. So if you want to send in your cell phone number as well, they're just reminders. We don't bombard you with the whole information via text. I know I don't like getting a bunch of text on my phone either. So I understand that, but there are times when I forget what time something starts. And so those little texts are pretty neat because they help me. And I should know when everything starts, right? Easter baskets. We're going to be collecting those. Those are for maybe somebody needs a visit. For the most part, it's those who are at home or shut-ins or whatever. But maybe you know somebody that is really not a shut-in, but they could just use an evangelical visit. Nobody's going to shove Jesus down the throat, but sometimes that's an awesome. Don't send anybody into a hostile environment, but at the same time, you know, Easter baskets are pretty wonderful. Easter flowers, watch for the announcements. There might be some changes as we go forward, but watch the announcements. If you want to purchase some and then take them home on Easter Sunday, please watch for the announcements on that. The Lenten themes for tonight in Platte City, it's watch. In Smithville, it's worship. And then they switch next week, and it's worship in Platte City and watch in Smithville. This coming Sunday on the 26th, the theme is Sinful Mind is Hostile to God, Romans 8, 1 through 11. And then Easter breakfast, currently, there's one planned in Smithville, along with the Easter egg hunt. Want to do something in Platte City, so if someone wants to volunteer to do that, please let us know. And you know, that's our ministry theme, every member ministry. If you see a ministry, let's communicate it and let's make it happen. And maybe an Easter breakfast between services or whatever, and then an Easter egg hunt. Wow, that would be a pretty neat ministry to go along that you could invite your friends to, or your children could invite their friends to. And then thank you for all those who came to the paddle battle and were involved, those who played. That was on the 19th. And then we got the ladies' night coming up on the 17th. Ladies, please plan to go to that. Find out information, get with the congregation support coordinators or check with the office and get signed up for that. And let's see if we can beat the number that we had last time. And it was pretty overwhelming last time. And then chair fundraiser. I know some of you have heard something about that, but basically we got some funding for some chairs in Smithville, similar to the chairs we have in Platte City. And as we were going along, we thought, well, why not a fundraiser? The chairs cost not quite up, but right around $100. So if you want to adopt a chair, you can't take it home, but either just do that, write it on your check beyond your offering, your normal tithe. And put it in the offering plate, or contact one of the office and get more information on that. I think that's a pretty neat deal. We did it ourselves. And then strategic planning. There should be some updates. I know several people have been standing up before the congregation. I know there's been a couple of emails that have gone out, but that's the strategic planning. We brought the district in, and the district's guiding us. We're looking at pastoral progression, senior leadership. In the future, we're looking at facilities in the future, and there should be some more information coming on that just on the Platte City campus. And then we're also looking at community and congregational involvement. So put that in your prayers, in your personal prayers. Pray daily, every day for the next forever. over the next few years. Pray for that. And then the AV is getting updated hopefully this next weekend in Smithville. We're planning on doing it in Platte City coming up, as far as the monitors and them flashing out and being slow. And then, yeah, I already talked about chairs. Okay, Monday, Thursday. Monday, Thursday is April the 6th, 6:30 at both campuses. In the Smithville campus, we're going to do First Communion for the second year confirmants. Good Friday is April the 7th, 6:30 both campuses. And then the Sunday before, which is Palm Sunday, the 2nd, we're actually doing confirmation for the youth. And so we're having somebody confirmed in the traditional service, and then we're having somebody confirmed in the Smithville blended service on that day. And okay, last thing on the announcements. Ideas. I know we need lots of ideas on lots of things, but some of the ones that have come forward to me from other people, and I thought, yeah, I'll just put them out there, is babysitting. Do you have some ideas on how we can provide babysitting for meetings? Like, I know sometimes one spouse goes to a voters meeting instead of both because they have to watch their kids. And maybe other events like Bible study or something like that. So if you have some ideas on how maybe we can do that and maybe organize that or plan that, please let us know. Also, Sunday school. We have a few other people running Sunday school in Platte City, but for the young ones, those Bible stories are so important as they get older. But in confirmation, I really don't teach Bible studies. I teach the doctrines that St. Paul and Jesus tell us that we have to, his teachings that we have to follow. But the Bible stories add to those teachings. And so that's where Sunday school really, really comes in. And then also traditional service, congregational support coordinator. I would really like to have someone volunteer for that. So if you have some ideas at the traditional service that you might want to figure out what that's about, let me know. I'll put you in contact with Susan and Mary. They both do it a little bit different because each campus is different and each service is different. But would love to do that. So, all right, devotion. You ever had one of those days? Well, I'm having one of those days. Okay, it's not like everything's going wrong. It's not really a Monday blahs because I start my week on Sundays, and it's not even, well, I guess maybe it is Monday. Well, you'll never know because you're watching this on Wednesday, right? See, that's what I'm kind of talking about. So it's just one of them days. It's just one of them days that if you're in touch with your feminine side, you might just want to scream. If you're in touch with your masculine side, you might want to punch something. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. It's more that than who you are in here. You were born the way you are, and I don't want to offend anybody, but that's just the way it is. And so it's just one of those days. And so when I have one of those days, I go to one of the very few favorite passages that I have. And I'm only going to read the first 6 verses because I could just go off into ever on this whole Bible verse, okay? Because it's just wow. Psalm 139. If you've never read it before, I encourage you to sit down and read it in sections because it's pretty deep. But to me, when I'm just having one of those days where I I go to it and I read those 6 verses, and I want to read them to you today. Okay, so I'm using the ESV from the Lutheran Self-Study Bible, and it says, "O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down, when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down. You are acquainted with all of my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it altogether. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain it." That passage not only tells us of the majesty of God and the power of God and the omniscience of God and the omnipotence of God, but it tells us that He has us in His hands. We're hemmed before and after, and above and below, and all around. He has us. He knows our path. He knows our way. He knows our heart. He knows everything about us. And in that, regardless of how your day is going, only then can you say, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Because without that, sometimes it's hard to rejoice and be glad. But with that, and that's just the taste of that psalm. With that, my dear friends, I used to have a sign in my office that said, good morning, this is God. Relax, have a good day. I have everything in hand. I don't need your help. My dear friends, whatever's going on in your life, the Lord knows you. He's with you. He has you hymned before and after. Jesus died upon the cross to take away all of your sin and to grant you peace with Him. Allow that to give you the comfort you need. God bless each of you.